Why have you not achieved anything until now? Being looked down upon by others? Being tossed around like a toy? Why is your self-esteem always trampled by others? Your interests are always ignored by others. Your feelings are always played with by others. People who do not understand human nature can only live at the bottom of the food chain, being prey to others from childhood to adulthood. No one tells you the truth about human nature. What I say is not easy to absorb, so remember to watch until the end to grasp it. Ancient education greets you and your friends. There are two types of people who are most easily deceived. The first type is people who want to be rich overnight. Many people are brain damaged by success. They believe that relationships are the source of money, so they make friends everywhere. If you believe in the concept that relationships are the source of money to make friends, the final outcome will be like a sheep in the pasture, only bowing its head to eat grass without knowing that the wolf has come. A worthless person, even though having many relationships, is useless. This type of person is full of hope for the future, looking for opportunities everywhere. Calculate to get rich overnight. They think that thanks to relationships, they can earn money without working. Just spending a little bit can get rich. The second type of people in difficulty, they just want to escape the current difficult situation, so they are easily taken advantage of. When they encounter difficulties, they are very confused and bewildered, so they just see an opportunity to escape from difficulties. They often rush into it without considering the consequences. When they encounter difficulties, people will easily panic. The more they struggle in the swamp, the deeper they sink. In fact, this type of people are not made difficult by the situation, but by their own psychology. The reason they are easily fooled is because people have a self-defense instinct. The right way to deal with people in difficulty is to calmly wait for an opportunity to escape from difficulties. For example, when you are stuck in a piece of rope, the more you struggle, the tighter you get stuck. The more you want to escape, the more seriously you get stuck. The only way out is to stop struggling. Carefully observe the messy ropes to find the knots. The real mess of being stuck and slowly getting out is the wise method of the person. Who is the hardest to fool are those with the personality of a spy of the analytical type, with intelligence like Sherlock Holmes, with a very high sense of vigilance, setting up high barriers. This type of person is very easy to see if others are lying or not in their world. They have assumed in advance that everyone has their own purpose and motive in their actions and words. They believe that there is no free lunch in the world. Whenever there is an opportunity, they will be like the police, interrogating criminals, carefully examining every corner is absolutely easy, not easily believing. In anyone's one-sided words, this is both their advantage and disadvantage. They are very sensitive to lies, but at the same time are very poor at recognizing when others tell the truth. All values are packaged from the outside. Many businesses like to package. Packaging is to increase value, but most of that value is fake. Package businesses do not directly deceive people. They operate in the gray area, open as long as it does not conflict With conscience, this is a good marketing tactic. Packaging is to deceive with smooth claims, exploiting people's illusions, indirectly presenting what you want them to believe makes the other party voluntarily make assumptions that are beneficial to you. I met a successful teacher. He was very enthusiastic. As soon as we met, he told me how much money he made, then said a certain director had to make a card for tens of millions just to meet him. He talked continuously like a machine gun. He taught very devotedly every time. He taught. He was full of enthusiasm. A few times he taught to the point of spitting blood. I listened and laughed so hard I almost spat out a mouthful of water. I hadn't had time to swallow. I quickly held back for fear of laughing too much and making him lose face. I was even more afraid that he would directly spit blood for me to see, to prove what he said was true. He talked so much just to make me pay his agent fee. If it were you, would you believe that person? When someone else told you something, do you have to believe them? Everyone, remember, skepticism is the most important ability yours. Using doubt to verify the truth is much more important than believing wrongly. We do not worry about being doubted by others, because our thoughts and courses can help you or not. You have already considered in your heart. No need for us to say more. The product itself speaks for itself. Sun Tzu's military book, The Art of War, teaches us fake soldiers. Ghost way means deception in war. Is there anyone in commerce who absolutely does not deceive? The answer is no. Before we have a best salesperson later found out that when selling to customers, he always said that our company has a factory of thousands of square meters. In reality, it is only a few hundred square meters. Is this not deception? Has it always been like this? As long as it is a person after the age of 3, they will know how to deceive. The process of growing up. People are the ones who decide what can be told to others and what cannot be told to them. No one can escape deception. It is an instinct of animals to survive in nature. Some animals also know how to use colors to deceive their enemies. Mark Twain said that we have all lied to others and we all have to lie. A master liar will not be so foolish as to tell lies. If you tell lies, others will not believe you. In order for others to believe you, you have to mix truth and falsehood. Mix a few very clear sentences. Only then will the listener believe it is true. A master liar will not be so foolish as to tell lies. If you tell lies, no one will believe you. In order for others to believe, you have to be real and false. Dunsanen. In a pile of lies, mix a few very clear sentences. Only then will the listener believe it is true. In reality, loan scammers usually do not borrow a large amount at first, but to gradually gain the other party's trust. First, they borrow 50,000, borrow and pay back. Then borrow 100,000, also has to borrow and pay back repeatedly. Many times the amount of money borrowed will increase when they grow up. They borrow quickly and pay back quickly until the other party completely trusts them. They borrow a very large amount and then run away when they meet such a person. Must be careful. Someone has calculated that the average adult lies 1 to 3 times a week. 1 or 2 times is lying to their spouse. 90 people admit to lying regularly. 20 people just, if they don't lie for a day, they will feel very uncomfortable. Someone surveyed and analyzed thousands of lies and found that the average university student lies once in 3 conversations. The survey is for reference only and does not represent a reliable source of information. Even ordinary people lie, let alone cunning traders. We need to have the yin-yang eye to recognize the tricks of scammers. We must have a more clever way of dealing with them. When lying, experts often add a sentence. At the beginning, actually, you don't need to completely believe me. This sentence will make you more likely to believe them more when being cheated. Don't scold people. Ask yourself why you trust others so easily. Animals are also very clever. For example, when cats fight, the hair on their whole body will stand up, creating the feeling that they are bigger than they actually are. In the business world, there are many cats like that. Learn from scammers. That's right, you heard right. Say it again. Learn from scammers. Not only learn their tricks, but also learn their personality and foresight. From an ethical perspective, scammers' behavior will be condemned by society. The law cannot tolerate them, except for their malicious hearts. The advantages on their bodies are definitely things. Everyone needs to learn from Confucius. He said that stealing also has ethics. What we need to learn is how they survive. The ethics of scammers are skills that everyone in business must learn. First, learn the foresight of scammers. In general, when doing business, people only have naive and romantic fantasies that everyone is their customer. They cannot distinguish who is the real customer. Oh, there is no one. Good method to identify and check customers. Every time they meet customers, they are very interested in customers, make their own value decrease, can only put respect for customers in the heart, but cannot show on the outside. The more respect the surface, the more customers despise like that. Then it is difficult to earn money from them. I have seen some sales staff over the phone one day call hundreds or even thousands of calls, but cannot close any orders. Bad mood. Smoke a few packs of cigarettes a day. Why is that? Being cursed by the customer on the other side of the phone. Scammers certainly never have a worried mood. They do not go to scam each person. They just choose the target to scam. They have a systematic method to consider customers who will be scammed, who will not be scammed. They can see clearly from the first time. Do not waste time looking for the wrong target. Second, learn the personality of scammers. Many people, when looking for new customers, are often rejected by customers, leading to a depressed mood. They start to fool themselves that the more times they are rejected, the more likely there will be customers who say yes to me. When really helpless, they can only go to inspirational experts to teach internal skill. Scammers will believe in a philosophy that thieves never go empty-handed. If one scam fails, they will immediately switch to another scam. Absolutely never give up. They will continue until they can scam someone and never get discouraged. Their spirit is much better than yours. The scam, if it doesn't work, then switch to another scam. Extremely diverse. Stab randomly until you are injured and bleeding. They don't believe that when more and more people refuse you, as long as you persevere, the next customer will definitely say yes to you like a fairy tale. Third, learn the scammer's method. When meeting customers, you lower yourself too much. Cannot make customers feel they need you. On the contrary, you make customers. I see that You really need them. The value of the customer is always higher than your value. Your low status makes it very difficult to sell products to someone with a higher status than you. A scammer once acting can make his own value become very high. The value of the victim becomes very low. Many scammers are packaged as rich tycoons, making the victim lose control, making the victim feel very much in need of them. Their method is very high. Min makes the victim have no choice. On the contrary, they have more choice. They see through human nature. As long as you do business and want to sell products, you have to grasp human nature. If you do not see through human nature, no matter how good your ideas and products and high character you have, you will not make much money. Scammers study human nature deeply. They see greed and weakness in people. They can lead people step by step to achieve everything they want. The principles of marketing experts and scammers are the same. The only difference is that one person crime. A person does not commit a crime. Just Wednesday learn their learning spirit. Most people are not successful because they do not like to learn. Drag. Xiaomi CEO Quan said this world does not lack smart people but lacks people who know how to seize opportunities. Scammers, once they see the method is not effective, immediately immerse themselves in learning. Where do they always go? In technology. You see shady industries on the internet. People who sell male enhancement pills do marketing very well. They always go with the times, upgrade and improve themselves, while most people just know how to do manual labor to earn money. What you hate is what you need. What you like is not what you need. What you hate is what you need. First, I ask you a question. Does anyone like to drink black coffee? Does anyone like to drink beer? Does anyone like to eat fresh oysters? Does anyone like to smoke? Does anyone like to eat durian? I think a lot of adults will like to eat the things I just mentioned. The foods I asked about may not be what everyone likes to eat, but you will realize that people who once liked these foods will often find it difficult to give up and even remember them often. So I will ask you another question about the foods I just mentioned. Did you find them delicious when you first ate them? I think most people will say that not only are they not delicious, but they are also unpleasant when you eat them for the first time. But as long as we continue to eat them gradually, we will be able to feel a different taste from the bitterness. We can feel the sweetness from bitter coffee, feel the coolness from the bitterness of beer, feel the stimulation, even from the bad smell of durian, feel the strong aroma. The things I just mentioned are all foods that adults like. I would like to ask everyone, do you use black coffee, beer, oysters, durian to feed children? I think you definitely won't be stupid enough to do so, because children's taste buds are very simple. They mainly like to eat cakes, like to eat soft candy, like to drink sweets. But adults' taste buds have been developed and have become diverse. Adults' tongues can feel the heavenly taste from bitter tastes, even bad smells.